Welcome back to JW's Backyard. Now I'm here today with our 196cc diesel swapped Caterpillar dump truck and my diesel swap go-kart. And one of the things everybody always talks about with these diesel engines and the advantage to having them, even though they make barely no power, is that they're able to run on alternative fuels like oil or cooking oil. So today we are going to see if we can get these 196cc diesel engines to run on some used engine oil. We've got some cooking oil there, and we've got some Ford manual transmission fluid, or what they refer to as Ford Honey. Now I'm speaking, we're not using the Ford Honey. It's $40 a quart. So this is not happening. But today we're going to finally change the oil in this go-kart here and see if it'll run off of its waste. I haven't changed the oil in this thing in 4 years since I put this on this go-kart. Let's get to work. All right, let's get this oil out and see what it looks like after 4 years. Well, it looks like a bit more oil than I put in here, and it looks pretty runny to be 10W30. I'd say there might be some fuel contamination in there. All right, so we still got the diesel in it. Let's start it up. You can see how it runs, and then we're going to drain all the diesel out, put the used oil in it, and see if we can get it to run that way. All right, so we're going to undo this fuel line and drain the fuel tank so we have just oil in there. There'll be a little bit of fuel left over in the rest of the fuel system, but that'll clear out to where we're just using oil. Now, and you can look at that fuel line, it is disintegrated. We're gonna have to put some new fuel line on here. All right, so I'm about to add the engine oil. Ended up having to change the fuel line. The other one just disintegrated when I took it off. So we should be able to see the actual oil coming down into the injector pump. And I've got a funnel. I shoved a little Scotch-Brite pad in there to try to filter out some of the contaminants, because, you know, all the oil was running down over the engine plate and my oil pan was dirty, so that should filter it out enough to where it's not going to clog up the injector. But let's get this poured in, see if it'll start. All right, you can see the oil in the fuel line there. I'm going to prime it and we're going to see if this thing will start. All right, so I'm gonna drain this oil out because I think it had a little bit of fuel contamination, which may have skewed the results a little bit. And I'm gonna run some straight engine oil that came out of my car, and we're gonna see if that makes a difference. All right, and this is 5W20. right, so it ran on the 5W20 engine oil. I'm gonna get that drained out, and we're gonna try this vegetable oil for the last one. All right, so we got the engine oil drained out. Let's do this vegetable oil. Vegetable oil isn't very practical because really vegetable oil is more expensive than a gallon of fuel for the volume, but we're gonna try it anyway. Well, there you go. We got this thing to run on used engine oil. We got to run on cooking oil. We got to run on its own used oil that's been in it for the past 4 years. So people were right. These things can run on alternative fuels. So if you're on a farm or in an emergency and you need an engine that'll run on about anything, these are great engines. They're super reliable. They're really good on fuel. I can get about 4 times the distance on a tank of fuel with this thing as I can with my gasoline engine I used to have on it. I'm not gonna have to buy diesel fuel ever again. Make sure you subscribe if you enjoy this type of stuff. I'll see you next time. And I have started a Facebook group about these 196cc diesel engines off eBay or Amazon. So if you're interested, I'll put a link in the description.